about you, but I always find there's certain actors that literally are born to play the parts, aren't they? You know what I mean? And people say, oh, they're just typecast. It's a bit like Hugh Grant. He always plays the buffoon, doesn't he, in those movies? But he plays it well, and even he knows he's been very lucky to make so much money playing the buffoon. How about this man? Anton Differin always played the baddies really well, didn't he? I didn't know his name for years, but every time he was in a film, I was transfixed, because you kind of think this is going to be good because he's going to be so bad. And that's the beauty, isn't it, of being a good actor. And what you do is you look at certain individuals and you say, this is why they're good in that particular role. You know, I remember when Eartha Kitt, well, I don't remember, but I've watched it in repeats, obviously, was in Batman. I just thought she was terrific, you know. I never just looked at her and thought, oh, you know, she just kind of was right for that part and just brilliant at spooking Burt Ward and Adam West. You could see that they were all having a laugh beneath the masks. But now over here in the United Kingdom, once again, we're being told that we have to get over this colour blindness. Yes, let me explain. Morning, are you all right? You know, cast your mind back to October the 12th, 1066. Well, I know we weren't there. Yes, I mean, it'd be a bit of a miracle, wouldn't it? Imagine if they'd have had phones in that particular era. It'd been all done within 10 minutes, wouldn't it? Of course, we're talking about the Battle of Hastings. And what's interesting now is, once again, that particular historical epic is going to be turned into a co-production via the BBC. And here's where it's got everybody up in arms once again, because apparently we're going to have this thing called colour casting, where basically, you know, there are going to be coloured actors taking lead roles in this particular production. Well, you see, the historians point out that actually in that particular era, they wouldn't have had that level of person. And I don't mean that level of person, but you know what I mean, that colour of person. Now, the reason why I bring this up is, and this is not any, you know, people get all upset when you mention this, but I do think we have images of what people should be. It would be suddenly like casting Queen Victoria as an Italian woman, or, you know, I don't know, having Sophia Loren play the Ice Queen or something. It just doesn't work, you know, because your imagery is that, isn't it? It's a bit like Alistair Sim playing Scrooge in Charles Dickens, the definitive. Basil Rathbone, Sherlock Holmes, you know, definitive, really. Even the brilliant Peter Cushing said that Basil Rathbone was the best Sherlock Holmes, and you couldn't get much endorsement better than that, could you? But over here, we're being told that, well, no, we're not being nice, you know, and it's all of this. Now, I don't know about you, I'm all for actors of all backgrounds, all colours, creeds, being able to earn a living if that's what they want to do. But, you know, by definition, you are going to be playing a certain role by the way that you look. I remember years ago going to the Victoria Palace Theatre for an audition for a musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber. This is literally just around about pre-internet. And I couldn't believe it, you know, I suddenly got this audition. When I turned up, I'm the only blonde in the queue. Couldn't believe it. I thought, well, I'm in a bit of a role here. Turned out to be that the musical was Bombay Dreams, A.R. Rahman's collaboration with Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yes, an Asian-based musical. Did I burst into tears? I actually thought it was quite funny because I thought, oh, you do need to wake up a bit more, Neil. But you know, the agent didn't bother, who I was working with at the time, didn't bother checking into it. I went along and something else led from that. Did I expect to be cast in that? Absolutely 100% not. But now apparently we're all being negative if we don't want to take on this colourblind casting. And I wanted to ask you, do you agree? You know, are certain people basically looking the way that they look because they're suited for that part? Baddies are baddies and they play it well, don't they? Very well. Now, what I find fascinating is, as I say, the BBC that relies on our money are basically saying, well, we're doing this. But they had a go, didn't they, at Anne Boleyn, and they cast a lady of colour in that. Didn't work, flopped, and lost masses of money. What I would suggest is, don't worry about that. Just look at whether they actually fit the imagery of what people expect. And if we're going to have colour casting like that, colourblind casting, when can we expect a white man, for instance, to play Sammy Davis Jr. or a white man to play Ali on screen? Would they be up in arms about that? Isn't it all just stupid? I'd love to know what you think. As ever, do like, share and comment, and as ever, be respectful. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.